Hi there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today. This is our live weekly show where we inspire, empower, and educate you through life's transitions to reinvent your life. And each week on this show, I bring on the coolest, most talented, most bright authors, CEOs, speakers, influencers, experts, and truly life changers in their industry. And they share their story of their own reinvention and how they've transitioned through their life to come out on the other side successful. And I am so super excited about this show because I have on the show someone who is my friend and an expert in the money arena, and her name is Pam Hoffman. So Pam, thank you so much for being here on the show.
It's so great to be here and see you again, Diane.
I know. So Pam and I, I'm going to read her bio in 1 second, but Pam and I are part of the same business networking group. We belong to the same community. We've known each other for several years, and I have just watched you grow and flourish and create and powerfully impact the lives of so many people. So I'm so honored that you came here from Tucson to be in the studio with me in Solana Beach in person. That means so much to me. So,
well, it's great to be here.
Yeah. So, all right. So we always talk about a topic, a theme for the show, and then our intention. And this week's theme is 3 ways to improve your money story. And the intention behind that is I have today to understand that money loves me, and I love it in return. So the reason why we're talking about money is because let me tell you a little bit about Pam Hoffman. Pam is the best-selling author of the book Wealth Amplified, which we're going to talk about here. She's also going to be a radio show host in Tucson for an upcoming show. That's coming up in her near future, which is so awesome. And she has 3 companies, the Hopman Group, PGH Advisors, and Hopman Tax Services. And what Pam and her organization do is if there's an opportunity to help someone financially, if there's a way to save them money or improve their quality of life or get them more money, they figure out a way to do it. And it was through your own personal family experience of life happening and things happening that got Pam into this space, and now she has helped thousands of families through their money story. So we're going to talk about your story. In fact, you know what? Let's switch up the format today and let us talk about your story, and then we'll get into the 3 ways on how to improve your money story. I hope you don't mind me throwing a curveball, but sometimes I just like to just keep it spicy and keep it flowing and going. And I think your story is so powerful. So if you are here for the first time, I want to say welcome to the show. Please add comments, likes, ask questions. We are here for you. Now, if you've been here before, I want to say welcome back to the show. We are nothing without you, and thank you so much for being here. So, all right. So Pam, I want you to share a little bit about who you are and what you do and how you got into doing this work.
Well,
it's a great story.
In a nutshell, I'm a financial advisor, and I like to help people that want help and to reach their financial dreams. So that is basically what I do. How I got into this business, at least seriously, is my husband and I were in the Chicago area. That's where, our children were brought up, and
mine too.
I know, we have that in common.
Yes.
And my father is my brother, look at that. My husband is the oldest of 12 children.
Okay, oldest of 12.
He's the oldest of 12. And one day, one of his brothers was running on a Sunday morning, and he unfortunately had a heart attack and he died.
Wow.
And the police came with the dog he'd been running with to the door and rang the doorbell and let his wife know that he had passed away. And they had, she was, I think she may have been about the same age, 40, and they had 3 children under the age of 10.
Wow.
So she was a stay-at-home mom. So she turned to me when I saw her later that day, the next day. When I saw her, she said to me, she said, Pam, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, she knew I had some experience in the areas of financial planning and all of the areas that entails, and I wanted to help her. And for me, that was a clarifying moment of purpose because I'd been looking for my purpose of what I was to do next, because my children were at an age where it was time for me to start doing something else besides just being the mom. Being the mom's wonderful. It's so rewarding.
Right.
But I felt called to do something else. And here was a clarifying moment for my purpose in life.
Wow.
And at that point, I said, I'm going to help you. And then I had to figure it out. And I knew enough people that knew what they were doing, even though I wasn't that experienced yet, that we were able to take really good care of her and the family. So if we fast forward to today, they have more money now than when my brother-in-law passed away, because we were good stewards with the money. We took good care of it. Her oldest son is married, married to a wonderful young lady. He's a landscape architect. Her daughter is about to get her PhD. And engaged to a wonderful young man, and her youngest son is back in college. So the family has done very, very well, and my husband and I have been so fortunate to stay close to them throughout these years. But that really is how I got.
So you really
started.
rescued them in a way. And well, really financially, I mean. So something like that happened and they weren't prepared for it. And how many of you out there know people that this has happened to? It's the whole I Have Today mantra of living in the present moment, because we don't know if we have tomorrow or not, but you should be prepared for it. So yes. Yeah. Okay.
We hope for the best and we prepare for the worst.
Yes.
And yes, so I helped her go through all of the paperwork and figure out where things should go and how she wanted, and her idea was that she was probably going to use all of the money that was from the insurance policies for their college educations. But it didn't happen that way. So actually she's in better shape now than before.
Because you put the plan into place for her and helped her. That's such a great story. So that defined your purpose. You got such clarity about what your purpose was. Okay, so was there, then what happened next? After you helped her, what happened in your life?
In my life? Well, in case I didn't get it the first time, the next year, Paul's sister lost her husband similarly.
Wow.
And again, a wife, left with 3 children, and again, another family to help. So by then I that was it. I get it. The universe is telling me what I need to do.
Yes.
I need to make sure that I can help women in these transitions and men in these transitions. And so that's what I took on. And I just started learning and getting the experience. And I went out on my own and created my own business in Illinois. 8 years ago, we moved to Tucson. I opened up, started over again. And that was the reason we moved to Tucson, is my father was still alive and we were there to help take care of him. So it's like the caregiver, but it's the money part is there as well. And, that was my gift, was to be with him for his last 4 years.
Yeah.
So that was my gift.
Wow.
I received the gift that time. But anyway, I just keep learning. I keep it, and I keep helping people. And I meet a lot of people that want to do things in life and want to be financially, they want to have the ability to create their dreams and reach their dreams.
Yes.
And so I love helping people do that.
I love that. Well, you're doing amazing, amazing work. And so you have 3 branches of the company. So you're doing other things, and talk a little bit about that.
Well, all the different branches really have to do with being a holistic planning approach.
Yeah, okay.
Because, we have the Hopman group, which really is what everybody knows, the name, but it really is the insurance branch of the company. So if there's a life insurance, disability insurance, long-term care insurance, that kind of product would come out of that particular company. PGH Advisors is my registered investment advisory firm. So we actually manage assets. We manage assets a lot. And then the Hopman Tax Services is, I actually really started doing taxes first, and that was over 25 years ago.
Okay.
I was a stay-at-home mom, but I was one that sort of dabbled on the side and learned things. Like, I didn't like the way our taxes were being done, so I went out and learned how to do them.
Yes.
I didn't like the way our money was being managed, so I learned how to do it.
Right.
So it was one of those things that I had to go learn something because I wanted it done better. And I felt that somebody had to be responsible. So this was another clarifying moment. Was my husband and I had investments with an advisor. And I said to myself, one of us has to be responsible for these investments.
Yes.
And we decided it would be me.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And you love numbers. You love numbers.
I like numbers. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about your book. So Wealth Amplified. So what can someone expect in the 5-step guide for the professional woman to make more money, keep more money, and love your life? So you need to get this book. We're going to have a link for this at the end.
Well, it really goes very well with your topics today. We should probably get back to them, and I can pull in from the book as we do that.
Oh, I love that. Let's do that. Okay, that's great. All right. So as we always do every week on this show, we give 3 tips, 3 steps, 3 reasons, 3 how-tos related to the topic with the, I have today way of living, intentional living, and then whatever our expert is in their field. And so 3 ways to improve your money story. You want to have a healthy relationship with money, whether it's physically, financially, in the bank account, in your mind, your feelings and emotions about it. And we have, as you know, I do so much work around limiting beliefs and lifting the veil off limiting beliefs. But we have so many anchors and triggers and mental blocks related to our relationship with money. So you want to improve your money story in 3 ways on how to do that. Number 1 is bless and thank every dollar that you spend. Every dollar. When you write your mortgage check, say, thank you for keeping me safe and warm. When you pay the doctor, thank you for keeping me healthy and well. When you go to the grocery store, thank you for bringing me food and nutrition. Like, thank you for making my life so easy. The gas, everything. Thank and bless every single dollar that you spend, every service. That is my feeling, that you just have to live in gratitude and appreciation of your money,
and respect it.
Totally respect
money. And so
yes.
I told you this story a little while ago.
Yeah.
So
it's a great story.
My husband and I, Paul, and many people out there know Paul as well. We have a practice of, a lot of times people drop things, and they may drop pennies or dimes or quarters or nickels or whatever. We never walk by a penny on the ground because we respect money and what it can do for our life. So we always pick it up, and we always are grateful that we found it. And we have we play a little game. Paul's like, oh, I found a penny today. And he did. He found a penny today. Yes. So it's one of those things, but we never walk by any kind of coins on the ground because we respect money and we appreciate it. And by the way, you pick up enough pennies and you got $1.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's such a great story. And it actually dovetails into the second way, because I'm going to elaborate on what you said after I say what it is. So the second way is to don't focus on lack, focus on abundance. So you and Paul have this fun game, this radar up, a heightened awareness. They are looking for money. They are literally looking for money every day, even if it's a penny. So what a great way to keep the money coming in. You find it all the time, right?
Right.
And so that's part of it. But then by focusing on your lack, if you keep looking at your bank statement and you keep seeing, expecting the money to go down and feeling that scarcity feeling and feeling like you're holding in it tight, and I don't mean to spend it frivolously, but I mean that you're focused on the scarcity mind, thinking about it energetically, you are blocking more money from coming into your life. You are literally stopping it. It can't come in because it's kind of that closed off feeling versus having a love for whatever's in there, even if it's $15. It doesn't even matter how much is in there. Have that focus of abundance, and not just on money. Focus on abundance in every area of your life. Look for the abundance everywhere. You may not have everything that you want quite just yet, but be grateful and look for the abundance in what you do have, the gifts for what you do have in the moment. And so I think that is paramount in having a healthy money story and a relationship with money, is to not just focus on the paper and the coins of it, but the abundance that it provides in so many other areas of your life.
Well, there's always enough.
Yes.
There's always enough money.
Yes.
And we are more than enough.
Yes, we are.
And that's one of the places where women especially get really stuck. We don't think we are enough in what we do. I mean, there's a thing called the Imposter Syndrome, and it's in my book. I talk about it a little bit in my book. It's well known, and you know, I'll tell you a little story about it very quickly. I was in a wonderful group learning to write op-eds a few years ago called the Op-Ed Project and the Tucson Public Voices. And I was in a group of 19 other women, and these women were highly accomplished. I mean, multiple degrees. Most of them were academics. I think I was the only one that was really out there, you know, in the public sector, just doing my own thing. But most of them were at the university or non-for-profits. And so we were having a conversation, and we were supposed to get up and talk about how good we were at something. And so we were all very timid about it. Nobody said anything that was like, I'm the greatest, or, you know, I'm the best at this, or anything like that. And so we were educated that this is part of what the imposter syndrome is, and it more impacts women than men.
Yes.
To the point where at the end of the day, we went out for a cocktail. I was sitting next to a wonderful woman, and she leaned over to me and she says, I'm not sure I belong with this group.
Oh my
and this
God.
was a woman who has 3 PhDs.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
It's so sad, isn't it?
It's so sad. So I encourage people that take my course, Wealth Amplified, and then do my program to write down all of the things that they are acknowledged for and that they should be acknowledged for, and to keep a piece of paper with that in front of them every day to look at it. Because we forget how good we are at all the things we do.
Yes.
And money is one of those things. Women don't think they're that good at it.
Right.
You're great at it. You just don't know it.
Right, right. I love that. Right. You are, there's nothing you can't be, do, or have, and especially a healthy relationship and a love of money or a love of numbers. And listen, this is a challenge for me too. I used to be really good with it, and then all my creativeness took off, and I got really less good at it. Let's just say that. Always room for growth and opportunity. But I certainly don't feel bad about it. I know that I'm each and every day get better and better. So,
but Diane, you're not bad at it.
Right.
It just hasn't been your focus.
Right. That's what I mean. So it's never, this is such good content, you guys. It's such a great conversation, because it's never a negative thing. This is where I am, and where do I want to be? So this is the jumping off. I have today to start fresh and new. It's right, a line straight from the poem. Like, I have today to just understand what I do today and know that there's an opportunity for me to always learn and grow and do more. So I love that. I'm not right. You're not bad at it. You just haven't what?
It's not your focus.
It's not your focus. You're not bad at it. It's not your focus.
But if you give a little focus to it and you look a little bit at why you have the conversations you have around money, you'll get better at it.
Yeah.
Much better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Oh, for sure. I've definitely noticed that within myself too. Okay. Isn't this great, you guys? Isn't this great content? All right. So the third way is think of money as love. Okay. I want you to visualize. I'm going to go very law of attraction, creative visualization on you. All right. So the universe only knows one word, and the word is yes. The universe only has one emotion, and that is love, right? And money is energy. It's really energy. When you said that, right? It's neutral, right?
It's neutral. It's not negative. It's not positive, really. It's neutral, but we give it the positive,
right,
or the negative.
Right. It's our beliefs, our perception, our imprints, the anchors that were put into our heads and our subconscious by society, by family, things we've heard, like money doesn't grow on trees, and it's great.
We all have money moments where we made a decision or we heard something that made us think one way or another about money.
Yes.
And I call those money moments. So
money moments.
Maybe your father came home at night and he said, oh, money is terrible, or we're never going to have it, or whatever. And one child will totally take on that. The other child will take on the opposite. So it's all part of what we decided as children, young adults, or whenever those occurrences happened.
Yes. Yeah. This is so good. And I'm going to say this, and I'm at the risk of my father hearing this. Dad, trust me, I don't feel bad about this in any way, but I discovered one of my money stories that came up. And I remember, I want to say I was like 8 years old, around that age, and I had lost a public library book. And so I don't know how I did, but I did. And so I had to pay the library $3 to return the book. And my dad, who was working multiple jobs, so hard to keep a roof over our head and food on the table and all of that, he had sat me down and he had the $3 in his hand and he said, you see what this is? This is like taking these $3 and throwing it in a trash can, right? And he wasn't doing it maliciously, but it was his money story and he was relaying that to me. But anchored right then and there, I got a belief that I throw away money. I throw away money, right? So I know that now, and obviously I'm well healed from it and all of that, but this is an example of the way those things get anchored in there. So all right, so back to the love of money. So if you can, in your mind, visualize loving, literally the word, the emotion, love around your money. Love around your bank account when it comes, or your financial statement and your investments, anything that's in your wallet, keep it organized, keep the money orderly, keep it nice, like love on it, literally love on it. You are going to change your money story and your relationship with money and the energy around it. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You do. And you recognize, like the story that you had about throwing money away.
Yes.
You started to recognize that.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you can start to recognize those stories that we have about money in a situation, you don't have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because we have a tendency to repeat our behaviors over and over again.
Right.
And we don't know why we keep doing the same thing until we can get down to where it came from. And that's what you did there.
Right.
So now that was a story and it doesn't have to rule your life.
Right. And see how quickly you can change. You can change your perception. You don't have to, continue to go on this way. You can have the heightened awareness of it, create that awareness around it, and then you can make a different decision, decide to change that belief, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Isn't this great? I love this. I love the money conversation. It's so good. All right. So can you tell us how you live the I have today way in the present moment, intentionally in your life?
I do take every day. I mean, and look at every day. You have to look at it. I mean, every day I get up. This is my routine in the morning.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. I get up in the morning, but before I ever get out of bed, I practice some gratitude. And I practice gratitude for my family, for my dog, because I love my dog, for the gifts that I have in my life, for the abundance that we have in our life. You can't have lack and gratitude at the same time.
Yes.
So if you find yourself going, and when I find myself like traveling down that rabbit hole of the lack, I start to remember to be grateful.
That's good.
So that is my way of staying present and staying in today with an abundance mindset.
Yes.
And throughout the day, I mean, I'm like everybody else. I have good days and I have days where things don't go quite the way I wanted them to go, and so we all do that, and that's really part of what I do with the I Have Today way.
Yeah,
is I am grateful, and then at the end of the day, grateful again for how the day went.
Yeah.
I like the practice. I don't do it all the time, I'll be honest, but this is a great practice at the end of the day to have 3 things at least that you're grateful for and 3 things to look forward to the next day.
Oh, that's beautiful. So look back and think of 3 things to have gratitude for, and then set the intention for the next day.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank it. Bring it. All right. That's wonderful. All right. So, and is there anything before we talk about, your company, your book, and ways for people to find you and work with you, any final piece of advice that you want to share with the thousands, if not millions of people out there who need this work, truly need the help and support of financial advisors, and who could potentially be in the situation that both of your sisters-in-law were, that we don't want that to happen anymore?
Well, first of all, both of my sister-in-laws had husbands that had prepared for their, for something that might happen, for the unfortunate situation that they had. They had done some planning for it, not quite as much perhaps as they could have, but at least there was something there.
Yeah.
The thing is that we don't know. Well, I have today, it's part of it. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know.
Oh yeah.
As I said, we plan for the worst. We hope for the best. We plan for the worst. I mean, I work with people all the time who tell me they never want to retire. They never want to stop working, or, they don't want to consider that could happen to them someday. And I'm of the mind that do something today for the future, but I'm also of the mind that live today. So, I don't just focus on saving for the future. I think it's just as important to have a really great life today.
Yes.
So when people work with me, I work with them to try to keep their lifestyle to the level that they want it to, but to find ways, to find money that they can put towards their future.
Right.
So that's part of it.
That's wonderful. All right. And then what about the woman who's thinking, oh, I'll just get married and my husband will take care of the money. What about them?
Well, a man is not a plan.
A man is not a plan.
So it's unfortunate, but 80% of the women, when women die, 80% of them are single.
80%? Oh, wow.
When men die, 80% of them are married. And the average age of a widow is 56.
Wait, you got to say that statistic again. I got to wrap my mind around it. The first one was what?
80% of women die single.
80% of women die single.
80% of men die married.
Got it.
And the average age of a widow is 56.
Oh my God.
Wow. So even if the person that you're with, the spouse that you're with, says, I don't want to do this, I don't want to plan, take it on and plan.
Yeah.
Do something.
Right. Do something. Well, we're going to talk about what Pam has to offer and what I have to offer to help you in that situation. Okay. So Wealth Amplified, this is your book and it is available at Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
So we will put a link in the comments section for you where you can find it. Okay. And get this book. Get 5 copies of this book and hand this out to your friends. Seriously, that is the way you spread wealth, truly. And abundance in so many ways. And you've got exercises and charts and all kinds of fun things in here.
It's one thing to get a better money mindset, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's another thing to actually use the tools and to create the money dreams and desires that you want in your life.
Right. You need a plan.
Okay,
and then you are so gracious. You wanted to offer the audience a complimentary session with you, which is so nice.
Yep.
So if you're thinking about doing this, even if you're not thinking about it, like, oh, I don't need this, it is never too early to start planning. It's always a smart thing just to at least have the conversation, right? Okay, so how can they find you? How can they reach you?
So it's a free strategy session. And the best way to get that scheduled is to call the Hopman group, the office, and talk to one of the young ladies who will answer the phone. And the number is 520-326-1625. And I believe that's going to be in the comments section.
It is. So we'll have it right in the comments section for you with the phone number. And if you're listening and can't see us, 520-326-1625 for your complimentary session with Pam Hoffman, who is just amazing. This was such a fun, content-rich, valuable show. Really worth so much to so many people, really.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I loved having you on the show. So, all right. So one of the things that I would like to offer you, and especially women out there who are thinking the man is the plan, and even if you're not, if you're at any point in your life where you're feeling like you're stuck or there's got to be more and you don't know what your passion and purpose is, Pam found her purpose through life events. But I work with many, many people who struggle with trying to figure out what that is. I have a 10 days to your passion and purpose program that I offer at ihavetoday.com, and it's $10. So for $1 a day, you are going to get the answers to the questions that you have. Even if you don't know what the questions are, I figured them all out for you. We are not asking ourselves enough questions, and we're not asking ourselves the right questions. So this will give you the clarity and focus to figure that out. Ways for you to live in passion and purpose and make money doing it. And then you can invest and live the life of your dreams. So that works really well together. So make sure to call Pam, get a session with her, and get her book, which we have a link for. And then here, I want to hold it like this. You hold it. Let's get a screen.
How about that?
There, smile. Wait, tilt it down. So
there
there it is. So you can see it. That's great. And then I have today. You can get ihavetoday.com. You can get the 10 days to your passion and purpose program. So, well, this is Diane Forster at I Have Today with Pam Hoffman. It's been an amazing show. Thank you guys so much for being here, for all of your comments and your likes. And if you want to find out more information, just look in the comments section, reach out for the tools and the resources. And we're here live every single week. I want to thank you so much. We are nothing without you. I love that you're here. And don't forget the theme, the intention, I have today to understand that money loves me and I love it in return. Thanks so much, Pam, for being here.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.